Hello again and welcome. The last video was an introduction to our latest renovation project, and we gave you a quick guided tour of the state of the house as it is, showing the room sizes and the work that needs to be done. The house obviously is not habitable at the moment, and it really does not make the best use of the space available. So this video is dedicated to showing you how I'm going to change the layout, how I plan to change the layout, the software and the tools that I'm using to make the design, and see where we go from there. Obviously I'm not at the house at the moment, I'm at my job, which is my kennels and cattery. I've just finished my work this morning, so I'm going to head off back into the house, have a cup of tea, and show you the designs and the software that I've used to hopefully make better use of the space in the renovation project. Catch up with you in a bit. Okay, so when I was renovating my own home 25 years ago, I used a brilliant software called 3D Dream House Designer by Databecker. I actually still have the disc and was hoping to be able to use it, but it was designed to run on Windows 95, so I was really upset when I found out that it wouldn't run on Windows 11. Anyway, a few years ago I started looking for a similar software and came across the Home Designer Suite by Chief Architect, which has a lifetime subscription. Unfortunately, to be able to use all of the features, you have to upgrade to a monthly plan, which I wasn't prepared to do. Next up, 3CAD Professional by A Shampoo. Not even sure if that's how you pronounce it. It was quite reasonably priced and seemed to get some good reviews, so I bought it, installed it, and promptly burst into tears. I guess it probably is a good software, but you have to have knowledge about CAD, and I have zero experience, so for me it was useless. Not wanting to waste any more money on buying design software, I tried out some of the free apps like Sweet Home 3D, Home by Me, Room Sketcher, and Cohoom. As free apps, they're all absolutely fine, but a bit limited for what I needed. So, on to my favourite one, the Casa Plan by Leroy Merlin. So my favourite software by far is Casaplan. It used to be a standalone program called Cozy Casa, but it's been integrated into Leroy Merlin's. It's completely free and very easy to access. So just head on over to leroymerlin.fr, and if you haven't already done so, create yourself a customer account. It means you can save your project later. At the top of the page, we've got a menu. We want to go to this one here, Outils de Conception. On the left-hand side, we then want to click onto Mon Plan Maison 3D. So now we want to create a 3D plan. Over here on the top of the menu, we've got a settings toolbar, and in this menu here, you can change the language. I've actually got it set up for English, I find it easier to use and it's helpful for this tutorial. So we're presented with 4 options. We've got draw my plan. So this is if you want to start from scratch and you know what you're doing. You've got your plans, your designs, or you're just designing a completely new house from scratch. You've got find my site, import my plan. That's if obviously you've already started working on a project, you've got something uploaded already to your PC, you can import it and edit it that way and find inspiration. What I really like is this one here, go back to find my site. So on this window, it uses your address and finds the cadastral map for it, which you can then visualize. So I'm just going to type in my address here. And it should come up with all the cadastral properties in and around your area. As you can see, there are quite a few showing on this. So I'm just going to zoom in to the ones that I want, which is this one here, this one here, and this one here. Those are the ones that relate to my property. So press continue. We'll leave the wall thickness as it is. We can edit that at a later stage, and click validate. Once you've done that, you should come up with something after you've pressed continue, of course. So once you've actually remembered to press continue, you should end up with a basic floor plan showing your external walls as well as your boundary lines. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and if you've got a regularly shaped house, you should have a much better idea of how your plan looks. Mine is very awkwardly shaped. It needs a bit of fiddling about to actually make it resemble what it should look like, but it just gives me something to work with. To modify the walls, just hover over them, they'll light up. You can either change the length, you can move them. If you click on them to the settings, you can change the thickness. Once you're happy with the way your walls are, you can add internal walls using the walls on partitions. You can add doors and windows, stairways, and a roof. If you actually have an upper floor, you want to add a floor before you add a roof. So your roof will be added to your upper floor. So this needs a bit of fiddling about with just to make sure just to get the correct dimensions and correct layout. There are quite a lot of tutorials on YouTube about how to use Plan. Most of them are in French, but there are a few in English. Okay, so now you can see that I've modified the walls. I've made them the thickness that they actually are. And I've added my doors and windows and the room dividers. The only problem I had with this Plan was the display was not quite as I would like it. I would prefer it to be rotated 180 degrees so that the doorway is down here and you can visualize it better. It's not a serious issue, but you just have to orientate yourself to understand what's going on. So let's zoom in a bit. Driveway here, main doorway into what is the existing kitchen. This leads through into a bedroom and the window overlooking our neighbour's courtyard. Back out into the kitchen and through the door, it's just a door opening into a living room. We've got the double doors looking out into the garden. Back into the living room and into the second bedroom, which is probably the master bedroom. This is the one that has the famous window that looks out into the wood store. So there is actually no natural light in this room at all. The light is borrowed from polycarbonate roofing along this wood store. If you go back into the living room, and we've got a shower room and a WC, again with the window looking into the wood store, so no natural light here. There is no current stairs, but we do have a loft ladder, so we can have a look upstairs. We've got 2 attic spaces. These here are Velux windows, and these little areas here, they're not actually attic. I've had to label them as attic, but they're basically lost space under the eaves where the overhang is, where the house joins onto the neighbours. But there's still room to convert these 2 main areas. If we take a 3D view of the whole house, we should end up with something like this. So this is a current 3D example of what the house looks like at the moment. The shadow here is actually the neighbour's house. So this is why I like the Plan, because it shows you your house in relation to the neighbour's houses. You can see this is the window overlooking onto the neighbour's courtyard, and you can probably see a shadow here. This is where the house adjoins the neighbour's house again. Okay, so I'm going to head back down to the ground floor. Let's turn this upside down on a bird's eye view, give you an idea of what it looks like at the moment. So this is my living space at the moment. It really is not ideal for modern living. So I'm going to work some magic and see what we can do with it. First thing I need to do, head back down to the ground floor. First thing I'm going to do is remove these internal walls, all of the internal walls here, apart from this big one because it's a big thick stone wall. We'll open these up and see if we can rearrange the space. Over here on the right hand side you have view my plans, and you can see all of the different plans that have all the different plans I've tried, creating different layouts, using different layouts. Quarter turn stairs, spiral stairs, kite winders, double kite winders, lots of different ones. Anyway, it's taken a lot of head scratching, but finally we arrived with this one. So we come in through the front door into a hallway. To the right, remember you've got to visualize yourself, to the right is a downstairs loo, and straight ahead is a guest bedroom. We want to future-proof the house as much as possible and make it appealing to a wider market if we ever sell it. So we've kept a bedroom on the ground floor, and to make it as independent as possible, we've added an ensuite shower room. Back in the hallway, through the opening, and we have now taken down all of the internal walls to allow a very large open, or a largish open plan lounge kitchen diner. We weren't actually planning on converting the wood store at the moment, but to be honest, there isn't enough room in the kitchen area to put a fridge, freezer, washing machine or hot water tank. So we've had to bite the bullet and include the conversion now. So this window here is actually going to be opened up as a sliding glass door into what will become a utility room. We're installing these two Velux windows in line with these internal windows to allow natural light into the lounge diner area, keeping the same footprint as the existing wood store as it shows up on the cadastral plan. Back into the lounge and up the stairs. We arrive at the top of the stairs. Will be a landing with a Velux window in. The Velux window will allow light shining back down the stairs towards the back of the kitchen. The height of the dormer is going to be increased. It shows as a room here, it's just the way the CASA plan is designed, so you can, the only way to create a dormer is creating a separate room. It's actually part of the bedroom. But the height of the dormer window is going to be increased, so you don't have to bend down on your knees to look out into the garden. Should be plenty of storage space under these eaves here, which really can't be used for anything else, and they actually take up quite a lot of floor space. Across the landing will be a new opening into this thick stone wall, and which will have a small landing this side leading into a bathroom and a smaller bedroom, maybe a child's room or an office. I was hoping to put a large Velux window here so that you can have a freestanding bath under the window. And of course, William wants a big walk-in shower, so hopefully we can get the walk-in shower there. This layout might change slightly later according to headroom, but the fine-tuning can be done later. So here's a quick 3D image of how hopefully it should look. So we have the front door over here, coming into the hallway, the WC just to the right there, door straight ahead into the guest bedroom, and the guest bedroom has its own little ensuite shower room. There's an archway through here, and you will come into the open plan lounge kitchen diner. As you can see, we hope to install open tread staircases just to allow as much light as possible through the whole property and into the back of the kitchen. The existing window, as I was talking about, is going to be enlarged to make a sliding glass door to get access into the utility room. The other window will stay in place, but we just use it as, again, natural to allow natural light into this room here. So that's the downstairs. Upstairs. So we arrive upstairs onto a landing. To the right is the master bedroom. To the left is a little hallway, corridor here, landing there with access to the main bathroom and a bedroom. We don't want the bedroom into the shower room. Okay. So there you have it. And if we look at the whole lot with the roof on, it should look something like this. So the next stage, now that I've finally settled on a plan, the next stage is to find out what permits and authorizations I need to go ahead with this project. So catch up with us next time, and thank you for watching.